The truth is, you will never see any financial or even technical progress from your photography if you pursue all the genres. You're doing the street photography, the wedding photography on the side, you're doing some events, you're doing some landscape photography, some portraits, maybe even some video stuff. You know what all photographers have in common that do all the genres and do all the different types of photography? They're all broke. They have normal 9-to-5 jobs outside of their photography because their photography doesn't make any money, because they get a couple of likes on Instagram and stuff like that, but they don't get any paid jobs or clients hiring them, because why would they? They might get a booking here and there for some random like music concert or some event, but for the most part, it's probably like $200 or something like that, where it's not really sustainable. If you want to land clients as a photographer, you have to be a specialist, a photographer who's really good at one way of shooting. And it was the only way for me to land consistent clients and make serious money as a photographer. Do you know why these hybrid photographers don't see any progress and they don't make any money? It's because clients do not want to see that. Clients don't want to hire a photographer who's a jack of all trades, that can do everything for them, because it literally gives off hobbyist vibes. Like, a photographer who shows all these different types of genres on their portfolio, like they've done street stuff, events, they've done some music concerts, they've done portraits and fashion. They literally don't look like a professional and serious photographer. They just look like someone who's like in that weird in-between, but they're not like a full-on hobbyist where it's like they just do this for fun, but they're not like a professional either. It's this weird in-between where they're taking some cool photos, but they're not making any money from it. Because I speak to loads of photographers. I speak to photographers on my photography program, by the way, top link below if you want to check that program out. I speak to photographers outside of that, like online, in real life, and they want to pursue portrait photography. And I look at their portfolio and I'm like, okay, you want to pursue portrait photography, but you've got this random product shoot here, or you've got a shot of a clock, or you've got some street photography, and then a wedding, or some events, or some sports. And I'm just like, you want to pursue one specific genre, wherever it is, and then your portfolio is filled with all these different types of genres. And it's like, you're never going to be able to land clients for that specific genre that you want to pursue if you show everything. Because no serious professional photographer, besides some exceptions like on Instagram, some famous Instagram photographer or something like that, they don't post all these different types of shooting. They post one specific thing. If it's sports, if it's weddings, if it's portraits, whatever it is, they're sticking to that one thing. And think about the benefits of sticking to one genre too. You're putting all of your focus and energy, and even money too, into that one specific thing. So let's say it is portraits. For me, it's portrait and fashion photography. That's what I pursue. I'm putting all of my energy into that one thing. I'm not thinking about, oh, how can I get better at my street photography or some bullshit like that. Like for me, when I started to take my portrait photography seriously, like 2023, 2024 time, like I always wanted to do it before that. Like 2020, 2021, 2022, I wanted to do some portraits and stuff like that. But then I was messing about with doing street stuff and landscape photography and all that stupid shit like that, right? And I'm just like, and I made zero business progress. Like I made some technical progress, like I was getting better at lighting and like composition and stuff like that and posing, but for the most part, I wasn't really improving until I actually decided to be like, no, I'm gonna only do portraits in 2023 and 2024. And guess what? I made the most progress possible because I'm putting all of my efforts into this one thing. And it's like with photography too, with each genre, they have their own like set of skills that you need to be good at it, right? But apart from something more technical. So obviously you have to be good at composition, you have to be good at whatever. But each genre has their own specific skill. So for portraits, it's like communication. You need to be really good at posing your model, direction, teamwork if you're working with a makeup artist or a stylist or something like that. Obviously being good at lighting, for example, picking the right location, understanding colors, themes, that sort of thing. In street photography, it's not just about how good your composing is and how good your camera is or something like that, but it's also about how confident are you in front of a camera, or not in front of a camera, behind the camera. Like, are you embarrassed when you take photos in front of people? Can you take photos in front of people without feeling like weird about it? It's about trying to be like that fly on the wall so no one notices you. And if it's a wedding photography, it's obviously again communication with the couple, being professional, making sure you're able to work at a fast pace. So you're not like keeping the couple back, and you know how to be that more fly on the wall photographer again, or even be confident because you need to talk and communicate with the people that need photos, like group photos or something like that. If it's Sports, you have to be obviously on the ball with it. Like, okay, I make sure I get the right shot. You have to be really focused. Like, it's all these. I can go on, right? There's all these different types of like underrated skills that you need in each genre, not just composition and the universal stuff like that. And like, oh, what lens should I use? And like learning about camera settings. So if you want to do portrait photography, for example, but then you're also doing streets and you're also doing events and weddings, how can you really make any serious progress in your portrait photography if you're trying to do all these different types of things? I wouldn't even say the main reason why you're not landing work is because you're showing off all these different types of shooting and photography, but it's also too, it's the title that you give yourself. Like a lot of people, they're like, okay, I'm a director, cinematographer, videographer, creative director, portrait photographer, street photographer, event photographer, wedding photographer, and they literally title themselves editor, color grader. They title themselves like all these things that they're okay at or they're pretty good at, and they think that's going to help them. When it's like, no. When clients are looking for someone specifically, they're going to look for someone specifically who's specific in that role. So if they're looking for a photographer for their brand or something like that, they're going to look for a fashion photographer. They're not going to be like, oh, we're going to look for that one guy who does events and nature and sports and weddings and videography and all that type of stuff. They're going to pick someone who's really good at one thing and he's a specialism at that one thing. Like, just because you're good at directing or like you're pretty decent at color grading or editing doesn't mean you put that in your like business and be like, I'm also an editor. Like for me, I feel like I'm pretty good at editing. Like, I feel like I'm a pretty good video editor considering I edit all my videos and stuff like that. But I don't put my Instagram or my portfolio being like, I'm also a video editor. So if you want to hire me for video editing, no. I sometimes even get video editing jobs too because they see my YouTube channel and they want to hire me for video. I'm like, yeah, fuck it, I have time. I might as well do it for some money. You know what I mean? But like, you can still even get those jobs even if you don't like market yourself as those things. And also, when you're not a specialist in one specific genre of photography, you can't charge as much as the specialists. Like if you're marketing yourself and you are that event photographer, you're a hybrid photographer, and then a brand or something like that wants to hire you, really that wouldn't happen by the way, right? But say a brand wants to hire you for a clothing brand shoot or anything like that, you can't charge a load of money like the big fashion photographers do because you're not a specialist. They don't want to hire you. They're not going to pay that because like, well, you're kind of a hybrid photographer. Like you're a jack of all trades, but not a master of anything. You're a master of none. You can only charge so much because you're not a specialist in that specific thing. Okay, so what genre should you pursue? Obviously, first thing, you've got street photography, but the issue with street photography is that, yeah, it's fun, but there's no money in it. You're not going to make money from your street photography unless you have like a big YouTube channel and you're like some sort of like photography influencer and you vlog your street photography and you make money through your AdSense or something like that. But for the most part, if you talk about like making money from clients and clients booking you, that's not going to happen. You're basically going to be broke for the rest of your life if you just pursue street photography. You've got wedding photography. Wedding photography is pretty good in terms of money compared to street photography, of course. You can make a lot of money as a wedding photographer, but the issue is then it's quite backbreaking. It's not really a creative art at the end of the day. Like even wedding photographers would tell you, this is more of like, it's more of like a service, less than like a creative thing of like, I want to create some cool pieces of art for this couple. It's more just like you're taking photos on the day. It can be quite backbreaking too. You're there for like 12 hours, you're barely eating any food. It's like you're on your feet all day. It's not really an enjoyable experience. I've done wedding photography a lot. I've done a lot of like Indian wedding photography, and yeah, like those like 14-hour days, 12-hour days, even like 8-hour days can be like, oh, so shit, because it's just like, again, it's not creative, it isn't fun, so it's kind of like, yeah, it's not the best. You've got event photography. Event photography is basically the same as weddings in terms of like, you're not really being creative, you're just taking a couple of photos for a corporation, for a company, and it's not really fun. Again, if it's only for a couple of hours, it's decent money, it's actually pretty good money. Again, I've done event photography in the past. It's decent money, it's good money for what you do. There's a good work to pay ratio, you know what I mean? But it's kind of boring. You can't really see yourself doing that for the rest of your life, so I wouldn't suggest even committing to that genre. You've got sports photography too, that's pretty decent, but then it's just like, again, you can't really be that creative with it. It's very like high, fast paced. That could be something that you like, but again, it's basically the same as events and weddings. You can't really be very creative. It's like, whatever. Or There's portrait slash fashion photography, which is the genre that I personally pursue. Obviously, I have a bias for it, but it's the only genre where you can get paid and rewarded for your creativity. Now, you get to charge more and you get more jobs when you are more creative as a portrait photographer. You also get to be creative and have your own personality behind your work from the start. So you don't have to rely on being a big and famous photographer to then create fun and creative work. Like with other genres, I feel like you have to kind of establish yourself first, and then you can start being creative and fun with it. But like with portraits and fashion, you can do that from the very beginning. From the very first photo shoot, you can be as creative as possible and land some pretty big jobs. Like for example, look at my portfolio, I'll pop it up on the screen. It's all creative and fun shoots. Like it's not like, there's no boring and shitty commercial shoots on there. Like obviously I've done commercial shoots in the past, of course, but my main work that lands me clients is the creative editorial sort of work. And because of that, I get hired by clients that want my creative input. Like I go on meetings with these clients to discuss the photo shoot at hand or the ad campaign that we're gonna do. And they always say to me, we need your creative input. Like we hired you because we want your style of shooting. We want to kind of transform our brand into something more fun and experimental and like different compared to the competition. And they want to do something different. And they hire me because of that. And also, when I'm in that position, I'm able to charge much more than other photographers that they've worked for in the past, because I've got a set of skills that not many other people can replicate. Compared to other like different genres, like weddings, for example, most wedding photographers take the same photos. Like I'm not being funny here, but like most wedding photographers that I see, like the portfolios, they all look exactly the same. The color grading's a little bit different, but for the most part, everything is exact same. So there's not much you can do to differentiate from different wedding photographers, but with portraits, you can do a lot of things to really express your personal style. Because with fashion and portraits, it is a very controlled environment. When you're doing photo shoots, you're controlling what is the model gonna wear, what type of model that you're gonna shoot, what's the location that you're gonna be in, the color palette, the concept of the shoot, the lighting of the shoot even. Like you literally control every single aspect of the shoot, every single aspect of what you're going to be shooting. So your style as a portrait photographer goes under all of those things. So you don't really have to worry about gear too. That's another thing too about gear. This is the one genre too where you don't even need the best gear. Like I've just got here a Canon 24-70 EF, and I've got like a Canon R6. Like it's not that expensive of a camera gear. And I've got a Mamiya RB67, which is like a film camera. If you've seen this, you might have seen this online on Instagram or something like that. Mamiya RB67. This is like a medium format film camera. Like this is like $600 or something like that. Like the whole thing is $600. Like it's not that expensive, right? Oh, my water bottle fell on the floor. It's not that expensive, right? And I'm able to create my best work with this cheap gear. With other genres, I feel like you need the expensive gear. You need a lot of like hefty gear to take good photos. There's another thing too, like the barrier of entry here is so minimal. You don't need anything crazy. Because it's more about the consideration of all these different factors. It's less about, oh, I can't create any good work because I don't have a $3,000 lens or something like that. No, it's like, the reason why you're not creating good work is all because of you. It's not because of the gear, it's all because of you. Which is obviously way more controllable than like, oh, I can't do weddings because I don't have this lens or this camera, or I can't do sports photography because I don't have this specific camera with this specific lens that is specialized for that genre. And another thing that is great about it too, it takes much less time to establish a good business, portfolio, and brand. Like for me, it only took me under 3 years to get to the position I'm in today. I land regular clients every single month. I make a living from my photography. I'm only 21 years old, by the way. I'm not even like 30. I'm not like 30 years old, 10 years into it. Like I'm in like less than 3 years into this business model. I've been able to create amazing connections, make friends, make people, obviously make amazing work with those people. It's an amazing time, and it's a fun experience too. Like even when I wasn't even making money from this business model and this genre, I was still having the time of my life. I was still having so much fun with it. Like I could literally do this for free forever. Like if I had like $1 billion in the bank account and I could never work for the rest of my life, I would still do fashion and portrait photography just for fun. Like it would be even more of a reason to do it, because now I can like invest more money into personal projects. I can create some amazing work, and it's like, this is the genre that like I could see myself doing for literally forever. Even when I'm like 80 years old, I'll be still doing photo shoots. And one other benefit too, it is also just like fun and easy to do. Like even on the high end, when you're doing the 8 hours or 10-hour shoots, like I've been on those shoots before, it's still like not that bad. Like it can be a bit tiring near the end, but it's like, well, I've got to be creative, I've got to take some really sick photos, and it's worth it at the end of the day. And it's almost like this weird psychological thing too, when like, if you're doing like a 12-hour wedding shoot, and it's just you taking photos at like a wedding party or at a wedding ceremony, that drags. That's like fucking long. Like you're on your feet all day, you have to get the photos, like, oh, and it's boring too because you're not being creative with it, and it drags and it feels longer. But if you did like a 10-hour, 12-hour shoot of a portrait shoot where it's like a magazine shoot or something for a brand, and like it's all creative, it's super creative, all these different types of models and different types of lighting, you get to be like super experimental, that time just flies by. Like I've done weddings where I've done 6-hour weddings before. And then I've also done like 10-hour like fashion shoots, and the fashion shoots are like 10 times more fun and more enjoyable, less like back-breaking, and it's great. And if you want to join me on this journey to becoming a successful portrait photographer, land regular clients that give you that creative input, get paid to do what you actually love doing, I want you to click the top link below, which is my photography program, Photo Genius University. Get access to courses that will give you the step-by-step guide to building up a profitable portrait photography business. You can be a complete beginner. You can be someone who has never landed a client before in the past. Like that's like completely fine. I'll help you land your first client. You could be someone who's more intermediate, where like they've landed a few clients in the past, they've made a few $100s or something like that, maybe even a few $1,000s, but they don't know really how to scale their business and make it a regular thing and make it like your living and quit your 9-to-5 job or something like that. Like it's for that. Also for people that are more advanced in like other genres, so maybe you did like wedding photography in the past, or you did like concert sports photography or something like that, and you want to make that transition into being a portrait photographer. It doesn't matter. As long as you want to make money as a portrait photographer, the courses that are within the program will be perfect. They're basically free courses at the end of the day, because you're gonna make your money back. You're guaranteed your next client booking if you follow the action steps I give in the courses and you like do what I tell you to do. You're gonna be landing your next client, which you can make your money back from a single photo shoot, by the way. Because I wish I had something when I first started out. Like I wish I had like a set of like knowledge or like courses or a program that I could go to for like advice, for specific knowledge of what you need to do. Like I give very specific steps, not like broad knowledge of just like build a portfolio, do 3 shoots. Like no, I'm telling you specifically what you need to do, how you should approach a portfolio, what type of photos that you need to create to land those clients and land the clients that want that creative input from you. I'll tell you how to find your style and how to price yourself as a photographer, how to market yourself on social media, how to make a website. Like I'm going into full detail. Like even if you literally know zero, if you know nothing about how to make money as a photographer or as a portrait photographer, this program is going to be perfect for you. So I want you to click the link in the description below, join today. I want to see you in the program, making serious progress. But anyway, that's it for the video. Thank you for watching. I hope that I convinced you to do portrait photography, and yeah, click on this video right here to learn more about portrait photography, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.